Hey guys, what's up? I'm actually vlogging and it hasn't been a month. I think it might have been 2 weeks or something, some lengthy period of time regardless, but I'm vlogging and you might have noticed I'm using my camcorder, the same camcorder that I use to shoot my videos, my actual videos, and that's because the last vlog I did with everybody, when the Rogue One trailer dropped, it was really grainy and it pissed me off. So I'm not sure if I'll go back to my phone after this. I'm just testing this out, but moving on to actual stuff and things, Joe is here, 111 LEGO Reviews 111.
Hi guys. How you doing?
Yeah. So there's that. And then also, I'm just moving on from Joe like as if it was just a subject or a topic. Anyway.
My bullet point.
Yeah. He's referencing my bullet point file that I have on my computer every time I vlog, that just so I know what the hell to talk about. Anyway, to talk about things, the X-Men Apocalypse minifigures. To those of you that follow me on social media like Twitter, Bookface, Instagram, all those things, I posted the first photo of Apocalypse, and it's a pretty cool photo. For the most part, it's nothing I haven't edited before, that I haven't done debris flying in the background and other things like that, but the reason it's kind of like him just sort of standing there looking all menacing and epic is because I realized that if I tried to recreate his pose where he's got his arms out, the debris is flying in the background, and he's like, you know, everything they've built will fall, and from the ashes of their world we'll build a better one. If I did that scene, my minifigure kind of looks awkward from that angle, and I figured if that's the first angle I show everybody, they're going to think this figure looks really weird when he doesn't. So I decided to go with a more, kind of like idle, you know, more toned down, like sort of neutral pose for him for the photo. So yeah, that is available on all the things if you want to check that out, all the things except YouTube and Flickr. But yeah, so X-Men Apocalypse. You might have, as I've shown you here, I'm working on them again, and as I said, well, you know, before I even started on the Suicide Squad figures, that was always the plan, was to, you know, as soon as I reshuffled my schedule, was to do Suicide Squad and then go loop around and go back to X-Men Apocalypse, and that's what I'm doing. And so thankfully, I have more time than a month. Because if you remember with Civil War and Suicide Squad, I only had 1 month to do both of those sets of minifigures, and that was rough on both tries. And thankfully I succeeded on both tries, but thankfully that's not the same case this time around, because the only big showcase that I'm doing following X-Men Apocalypse, it's going to be Doctor Strange, and then of course Rogue One after that. But Doctor Strange isn't until like November 4th, so I'm going to put up the showcase like November 3rd, and so that gives me some time, because I'm only doing 4 figures for Doctor Strange. You know, Doctor Strange, I'm doing Baron Mordo, the Ancient One, and Caecilius the villain, so 4 figures really isn't too demanding, and so I have from right now with the X-Men figures up until, I'm going to give myself until mid-October. So I'll give myself about 3 weeks to do the 4 Doctor Strange figures. And I think that's pretty good. That's a pretty fair bet, and that's what I'm doing right now. And thankfully I'm not as panicked over it, because I have more time to work on these guys. And also there is Apocalypse so far. It's not focusing at all. That's great. But hey, at least I can actually give you angles like this, whereas with my phone I can't. But that's all I have so far on him, and believe it or not, while he may look only halfway done, he's actually less than halfway done. As a matter of fact, I have to do the entirety of his legs, as you might have noticed. I have to do the entirety of his back. I have to do the rest of the detail on his head. I have to do the remaining detail on his chest armor, a little bit more on his arms. He's nowhere near halfway done, unfortunately. He is a very demanding figure when it comes to detail. It's some of the most detailed work I've done all year, and that's saying something, coming right off of Suicide Squad, which was absolutely insane and seriously challenged what it meant for me to be a customizer. So yeah, anyway, other things, X-Men, you know, that's happening, and you know what my current plans are with that. I still have yet to start on Psylocke and, you know, and Jean Grey and Magneto and other figures, so really I've only been working on Apocalypse since I got back from BrickFair. But you might be also wondering, what about the Suicide Squad spin-off showcase? Will it happen? I don't know anymore. Like, I know I said in the Suicide Squad showcase that I absolutely am going to make Enchantress, and odds are I will. Amanda Waller is becoming increasingly unlikely at this point, but the thing is, you might... Okay, spoilers for Suicide Squad if you haven't seen it. I'm just going to discuss two things. I mean, it's in the trailers, really. Enchantress has two forms. One looks a little more satanic than the other, and then seeing Suicide Squad for the third time recently with my mom, I was like, I want to make her second form, which I think is a hell of a lot cooler. And, definitely something that really warrants me making a figure rather than her, initial, like, satanic, like, god-awful looking form. So I decided that I would, gather as much reference as I could for her second form and then maybe go from there. And what I ended up with, I have more reference for, like, the more satanic version of her that she starts out as, and that the end of the movie, she reverts back to it. Like I said, minor spoilers for Suicide Squad. But here's the problem. Her second form, where she's got the big headdress, where everything, her eyes are glowing green, she's got her heart lit up in, like, her chest and all this other stuff. I have an idea. Like, I have an idea for how I can make that figure, and I know how I would go about it. It's just the problem is reference. I have reference for her torso, her arms, her head, her headdress, her hairstyle, but I've got nothing on her back and nothing on her legs. And as much as I would just say, okay, I'll just wing the rest, I don't want to, man. I want to have a decent figure because I don't want, like when the DVD comes out, and I was telling Joe this, like, yesterday, when the DVD comes out and then I see, her suit, her costume in full HD, and I'm like, oh, wow, half my figure is inaccurate, so I'm not really fond of that idea. But regardless... It is what it is. Right now I'm focusing on X-Men, and Enchantress has become a bit more of a side thought until further notice. So that's where I stand with Enchantress, and then other things, reviews. So if you've been keeping up with my channel, which really isn't too much to ask considering I've only posted like 2 videos the past 3 weeks. I've been catching up on some reviews. So I was away at BrickFair from August 1st until like the 9th, and then I was recovering for a few days after that while also starting on Apocalypse and doing some other stuff. But I reviewed the Doctor Strange Sanctum Sanctorum, and that review's been up for about a week and a half now, I think. And then now I'm reviewing, I just finished reviewing the Tanker Truck Takedown. I just finished recording that this morning, and I'm going to be editing that tonight and tomorrow, hopefully to get it up sometime soon-ish. And as it is, this video is probably going to go up tomorrow anyway. So hopefully it'll be up day after tomorrow for me, but it will be your tomorrow. So yeah, anyway, so on top of the Tanker Truck Takedown review that I just finished doing, that I'm gonna edit later, I do have one other set that I really want to review that I do have, and that is the set with Ahsoka, but not that Ahsoka. That's the Black Series Ahsoka. I'm talking about I just dropped another figure on the floor. I'm talking about the Rebel Combat Frigate from Star Wars Rebels. This set right here. So I really want to build this thing and review it, but I'm considering doing it in sort of like, I'm trying to get decent lighting over here, shit. I'm considering doing it in like its own format, kind of, so like, I'll put it on this box. So I was thinking, because you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of Rebels, I'm not the biggest fan of Ezra or Chopper, I don't even know who this guy is really, and Agent Callus is okay. I really just want to talk about the frigate and the debut of Ahsoka as in her Star Wars Rebels outfit, and her adult version, and that's really why I want to review this set. It's to talk about her. So what I'm thinking about doing is, instead of like having the usual minifigure segments for each one, I was thinking like having the intro, one minifigure segment for Ahsoka, and then just like one shot of the front of all the other figures, and then another shot of the back, and then move on to the review itself of the frigate. That's probably what I'll end up doing, because to be honest with you, I will show and talk about briefly the rest of the figures, but I don't really care about them, to be honest, because 2 of them are rehashes anyway. So, yeah, anyway, other things, the BrickFair video. I want to discuss that really quick. I am working on the BrickFair video. To those of you who were at BrickFair, to those of my friends who are watching this for whatever reason, I'm about 12 minutes into it, but they would already know that. So yeah, I'm about 12 minutes into it, and it's turning out really good. It's turning out really great. It's a great 12-minute montage with some extra super awesome footage thrown in the middle and throughout the entirety of it. But I still have to do the ending, like the ending text. I still have to do some other pop-up text to make sure you guys are able to distinguish whose figures are whose, things like that. And then also I have to do the blooper reel, which is going to be pretty extensive, I think, this year. And to do that, I need to go through all of the vlogs. And speaking of the vlogs, the vlog compilations. So I have the BrickFair vlog compilation all the clips are in the timeline. I still have yet to add transitions to each, in between each clip. I got to go through and do that. But while I do that, I'm going to make sure I pluck out any moments I want to put in the blooper reel for the main BrickFair video. And so what will happen is you're going to see the vlog compilation before you see the main BrickFair video, so that I can have the blooper reel and the main BrickFair video be, everything I want it to be. So that's about it. So I mean, there's not much else to add other than hopefully within the next week or two you'll see the, actually I think within the next week you'll see the vlog compilation, and then hopefully shortly after that the main BrickFair video. So that's what I was trying to say, and I think I should have said it faster given that I kind of have to leave in like 5 minutes here to go to class, and I don't really know what time it is. I haven't really been keeping track. So I'm going to end this vlog in saying that I got new cards designed and made. That was something I did not have time for at BrickFair. I did not have time to do in time for BrickFair, was design new cards. And so this is the new version, and this time it's got my Civil War cap, Kylo Ren, Harley Quinn, Deadpool, and then on the back all the social medias, the old Twitter logo, as Sam Shotgun22SD pointed out, and then also you got Ahsoka still on there, the Joker, Spartan Locke from Sonder, and Spidey. So yeah, new cards, and I'm going to be giving those out until probably the next BrickFair when I end up updating these again. And then trying to go kind of fast here. I have to run out the door right after this. Like I said, I made a new photo, which is basically, funny story behind this is it's actually more so just a giant collage photo, which is really, and it's really just like a rehash of all kinds of PNGs and character pictures of my minifigs that I've used in preview photos, thumbnails, and other things. So like, for instance, here it is. You can see the whole thing. I think the only pictures on here that are really like semi-new are like Caps and Locks, because I did these two for the card, and everything else is old news. I mean, it's all like these are all pictures from thumbnails, previews, and other things. And I decided that instead of taking a new photo and setting up all my 2016 figures, I would just go ahead and just see what I could do with PNGs I already had of my figures. And so that's what I did, man, and it turned out to be one of the best collages I think I've ever made of my figures. And so there's that, and then there's also a second version which doesn't have my logo and has Yellow Jacket and both Flash and Zoom at the top. So yeah, aside from that, that is really it for this vlog, guys. I saw Tarzan, by the way. I watched that, and it's pretty freaking cool. I like that movie quite a bit. I just really wish I had watched it, on the big screen at the movie theater, because it looked like it would have been that much better had I seen it, at a proper screening. So that didn't happen. There is one place where I live that's still showing it that I might still go to with my sister. We haven't decided yet, but Tarzan I thought was definitely pretty cool, and it was nice to finally watch that. But aside from that, Joe, do you have anything else to add?
No, not really. Yeah.
That was the iconic sound of Joe unmuting his mic. I know it well. But anyway, that's it. And by the way, here's the progress I have on Enchantress. I kind of started her hairstyle, painted a pair of eyes on her head, and then if I don't go through with making her second form, I might make her first, because I did make the hairpiece for that. So, anyway, let me know what you think, guys, of if you stuck around this far throughout the vlog. Let me know what you think of me using my camcorder now instead of my phone. Honestly, I think this is a lot better. It's more clear, especially during the day. So we'll see. Not sure if I'll go back to the phone, but for right now, that's it. I'm gonna stop stalling. I have to leave, and I'll see you later. All right, bye.